Hello everyone, my name is Ociel and today's topic is the difficulty to provide public goods. Let's get started. For my first slide, I chose what are or is a public good. Um, they are non-excludable. This means anyone could use these and it is unlimited to anyone, meaning like it doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter what age, sometimes with the age, like how tall, it doesn't mean that it's accessible to anyone. These goods are, well, they're non-rivalous, meaning just because one person uses it doesn't mean it reduces the amount or just how the other person uses, like the next person. Let's say this person used it first, doesn't change. It's gonna be the same thing for everyone. The examples are like the street lights, public parks, the air, literally the air, roads and road service. So it's basically like the environment, which is like overall transportation, which is be like just overall anything like in the world. My next slide, the free rider problem. This is basically when people this means when people can benefit without paying. This is when people tend to not contribute by paying taxes or some other fees. They expect like it to be free or just for people to pay them. So meaning like, oh, I don't want to pay them, but they can, so that type of thing. The government does help, but fees and charges people pay help support these goods, meaning that not just the government plays a role, but also people like us or people like old folks, or even young people who just buy things and pay for taxes. They help support this to produce these. So, quote unquote, if people don't pay for these goods like streetlights or just good roads or just overall, they may not exist or be how they are today. Meaning that if people don't pay taxes, if people don't pay these charges, then this means that for these public goods, they might be too old, they might be outdated. It just need work to be done, but there's no money, there's no fee, there's no nothing to produce and to fund these actions. So the free riders basically when people don't want to pay, or people think that they're just because they're free, so they don't contribute pretty much. My next slide is why government provides public goods or how they help. This is when people pay for fees or just overall taxes, honestly. Um, when they pay this, the government usually collects the money and funds the production for the goods, meaning that it might seem useless for us to pay taxes, but honestly, it's for the goods, for just things we don't realize. It's important to pay for these taxes. The government makes sure everyone has access to the goods and use of them, meaning that the government makes sure that the goods are not based off race, based off age, based off like just who you are in general. They make sure that it's accessible for everyone. They focus on long term benefits. This can be for the environment, just for overall safety, honestly. Some examples I wrote was the road or highways, national defense, meaning like the army or just the navy overall, and public schools. So public schools are public goods, meaning that the taxes we pay are just overall, even the governments they put rich in, but mostly that's from what we do impacts the public goods and delivering out like schools too. My next slide is when communities or private groups provide them or affect them. This is when some groups reduce the free rider problem. So this is when communities either do fundraisers or just do acts to help these public goods to be produced. People who are educated and learn about this feel more responsible and are aware of the way they fund this. Meaning that now that we're all informed after this, we would be more responsible. We would know why taxes, why these charges, why these fees are important. So we would have that sense of responsibility. Some examples I wrote was when the HOAs keep keep parks, meaning that they clean them up, they try to make them like presentable, they let them be sometimes accessible to people, like the environment. Nonprofits helping water become clean. This could be like when some organizations or even people overall, they help clean trash so they don't go in pools or rivers. They help the environment be clean. Another one I put was community fundraising for projects, meaning this could be like food sales, it could be waters, it could be free food, it could be just acts that help make money, but not for them only, but just for like overall like the goods provided. Concluding, I have my conclusion. For my first point, I put public goods are key to having a safer and more peaceful society environment, meaning that by having these public goods, it helps the world overall, but just like our community, our environment more accessible, more free, more helpful to us. The free rider problem makes it hard to produce these goods and provide the help for people, meaning that when people don't want to pay, when people believe, hey, this is useless, hey, I shouldn't pay that, it affects how these goods are produced and how people are helped by the government or just overall. The government plays the main role to fund by making taxes or charges to help pay for them. It's not just only the government, but they do play a big role in this funding for these public goods. But overall, they help by by not just using the money for themselves, but also for our environment, for our state, for just overall for us, the people. And my last point, communities and some private groups can also help, meaning this could be fundraising, could be cleanups, could be just overall just helping the planet be more healthier. But overall, public goods are basically anything that helps us, like the roads, like the street lights, like the public schools. It could be many things we don't think that are helpful that people don't they just believe it is free just because that. But I think it's important to help to fund these, help be educated by this, so we're not like Karens or we're just like people like, hey, this doesn't matter. Hey, I don't want to pay. I don't have enough money. It's important to learn about this so we don't make the same mistakes that other people do. But thank you for your time. I hope you guys learned something from this short presentation. But thank you. Have a good day.